we bring you the bilingual broadcast live of the Miami Grand Prix, the 3rd annual one. They're tire warming right now. It's kind of an interesting dance that goes along with this sport, and there's not a lot of room on this racetrack. We're coming around soon to look at the green flag live of a 3 hour, the richest GP race on the circuit anywhere in the United States. All right, green flag is out, and we're underway in a 3 hour go. Bundle down into the corner. Who gets there first? Your shot's as good as ours. It looks like John Paul Jr. has put the squeeze on Bob Wallach, and young John Paul has the lead.
John Paul Jr. en un movimiento tremendo, se clava por la parte de dentro y consigue el primer lugar, encerrando a Bob Wallach, que batalló mucho para salir pegadito a John Paul Jr. de la curva, pero en fin salió pegado y salió con bien, así que no hubo problemas allá en la primera curva, por lo menos con los líderes, y ya estamos en plena competencia. El Gran Premio de Miami 85 arrancó.
And Bob Wallach has taken it right back from him on the only long straightaway, which really isn't one, so we've changed the lead already one time, and it is now the A.J. Foyt Bob Wallach car, Wallach, the Frenchman, at the wheel for the first stage. You're watching that battle for first and second right there. The white car with the number 45 and the blue trim. That's John Paul Jr. with that Buick car. Right behind him, Bob Wallach in the Preston Hen-sponsored car, the T-Bird Swap Shops. Al Hobart has moved that Porsche into the second place spot. So Porsche against Porsche for the battle for second, and Hobart is now taking it over. That moves the Wallach-Foyt car back to third. Seems like a minor miracle that John Paul even survived that spin without any major damage.
That was a beautiful spin if you have to do one. I must say everybody got round him, and I don't think he touched any end at all, did he?
Okay, so the lead has changed once again, and now we have got Al Hobart in front of Bob Wallach in the second place spot, and it looks as though number 45, John Paul Jr., managed to gather it back up and is now sitting back in the third place position. You're watching the number 45 car. The thing of interest, right behind him, here comes Emerson Fittipaldi in number 85. Strong run to get on. Both of these cars are marked chassis. Fittipaldi has now taken over the third place spot. John Paul Jr. back to fourth, and things suddenly aren't looking as good for the Buick. The number 85 car that's now moved into the third place spot is actually owned by the race promoter, and it is called the Spirit of Miami. Boy, the people are taking to this car, too. All right, we've got a new leader right now. It's Fittipaldi in front of Hobart as there's been a change. We're going to go down the pit lane now and talk to Chris Economaki.
I'm down in the pits with last year's winner, Brian Redmond, who's a pedestrian now. Brian, your cars took $75,000 out of here last year, first and second place, and you're walking. What's the problem?
Well, the problem was something's broken in the gearbox selector, because it wouldn't select a gear. I came to change gear from second to third on this back straight here, and there was nothing there.
The pit area getting quite active at the moment, although it's not by design, and we've got a yellow flag and a pace car out onto the racetrack. Although it looks as though the pace car did not get in front of who we thought was the leader. We were listing number 85, Fittipaldi, as the leader, but the pace car drops in behind Hobart. We went to replay there for just a second to show you why number 85 has actually been given a black flag. It'll be a penalty involvement, but the number 85 car, which was leading with Emerson Fittipaldi, actually passed the pace car while the lights were on, and the pace car was on the track. Now, there's a lot of discussion going on down along in the pit lane, and we would expect that there's some unhappy people down there at the moment. I think in the English language it might be best said that they're getting a little tense. I think they may have just disqualified Fittipaldi for passing the pace car instead of. Well, we've been trying to go down to the pit lane to see what has been going on. Maybe that the censors have gotten a hold of our audience right now.
I wouldn't want to go out and interview him at the moment, would you?
It doesn't seem like the best moment. Meanwhile, we have gone back clean on the racetrack, and the pace car has gone off. And Hobart is out in front. Hobbs is second. Haywood is up into the third place spot. And John Paul Jr., who made a pit stop during that time, is actually listed in the fourth place spot, but he's towards the back of the pack and has to work his way back through. So we're in a bunch of cars out there looking hard.
Emerson, I don't think I've ever seen you so mad. What's the trouble?
When I come behind the pace car, was leading the race, they waved me by and they waved Bob Wallach by, and now they give black flag and they want penalized. And I was winning the race, and I asked the pace car, I'm first. And he said, no, you go by. And then they give me the black flag.
Well, at the same time, the situation apparently applies to the Foyt and Wallach car, although they were not in that position where it cost them so much money for that move. But we'll have to see as the race settles back in where they come from. The number 14 car in command of the situation right now. Al Hobart and Derek Bell in front of it.
Both Fittipaldi and Wallach say that in 20 years of racing, they've never seen an official miscue like that. And what we want to find out here is what the officials will do to try and put this situation right. Preston, we're SIN live, and are they going to fix this situation to your satisfaction?
I don't think they're going to fix anything. I think we're penalized the amount you saw, which is about 2 laps. Rightly or wrongly, that's where we are.
I know that. Here's the official. Hey, Neil, I understand there was a mistake made on the part of the officials. Is that correct?
No, sir, there wasn't. I was watching it, and the safety car did not wave them by. The 85 car tried to pass, and they put their hand out to stop him, and he went by him anyway.
We've gone yellow flag. Pace car is back out on the course. I'll bet nobody passes the pace car this time. And there is the reason for the yellow flag right there. Nobody got hurt. The car has. But we'll be a few minutes while we'll be cleaning that one up. And Sterling, you just mentioned that when we went yellow, you expected the leader to dive into the pit area.
You better believe it. I thought they both would. I am surprised. I can't realize why they haven't. I can only presume it is absolutely essential that they should do half distance on the fuel and tires. That's what the yellow flag. There they go. Yes.
Leader into the pit area right there.
But not the second.
Well, you had a great drive and a nice pit stop. Had a good drive and a nice stop, but you don't look happy.
No, Chris, we did it a lap late. I mean, we always get caught. You know, we could just barely squeak halfway. And that's where we were. But you should pit on the first lap, you know, if you're the leader, to take advantage. Now, Hobbsy was smart, but he's got the margin. We don't.
Well, you know, we wondered why you didn't stop. Why didn't you come in a lap earlier?
Well, I was trying to make sure everybody was ready. I was trying to get some good advice because I didn't know how close we were to halfway. And I was left with a decision, and I blew it.
Well, for those of you that have been following us for the first hour and a half of this event, you'll be intrigued by this next twist of fate. The new leaderboard just got set up, and who's back in front? A.J. Foyt and Bob Wallach, even after all of those hassles.
That is staggering, actually, isn't it? It really is staggering. But it just shows you a race isn't finished until you see the checkered flag. All right, they've still got half the race to go, but it sure puts an interesting turn on it. Although I believe, Frank, that Derek Bell will probably be charging fairly soon as they put out the green flag.
We're back green. We're racing again beyond the halfway point. It's still showing number 8, Bob Wallach, and A.J. Foyt in front of it. Out of Texas comes the guy called A.J. Foyt. He's a legend in racing here in the United States. He's just come off of some great runs this year. Finished first with his co-driver Bob Wallach in the 24 Hours of Daytona. It's listing it as Wallach, but we know behind the wheel at the moment is the big Texan, A.J. Foyt. Another wonder of wonders has suddenly happened too as we check scoring. Emerson Fittipaldi is being shown back up into the 5th position. Now, that's not bad for a guy who supposedly had a 2-lap penalty. Well, it'll all be an interesting one before it's over. There's the good battle. Number 29 right there is shown in the 2nd place spot. That's David Hobbs. Right on his tail is Derek Bell, back up to 3rd and about to take over 2nd. They're on the fast part of the straightaway now. By the way, partnering with David Hobbs in that red number 29 is Darren Brasfield, a young charger from California who's getting his feet wet in GTP racing. He's done real well out on the SCCA Trans Am circuit this last year. That's Bob Wallach standing there, getting ready to go. That would mean that A.J. Foyt is due in. That's how come we missed him on the last time by. We expected Bell to be behind A.J. Foyt. Instead, he was in front of him when he came by, which means that he's back out into the lead. So Derek Bell running that Porsche like it was a Swiss watch.
Foyt is dripping with perspiration. He's calling for water here. Oh, now I'll say the bodywork is coming off the back. That means that there's engine problems for sure. That's a long time. This is killing any chance this car may have.
Trompo de líder.
And look to me, did you not think that other car might have pulled across him a bit and he had to put more brakes on than he'd been expecting, maybe?
I think every one of those drivers must be a Catholic, because that looked like a miracle happening right there. Nobody got hurt.
That was right in the middle of traffic.
Another angle. Here it is from above, from the blimp, and we got most of it.
Nice driving, though, by a lot of those people, I reckon. Nice driving.
You were telling me that there's a chance we might have a heck of a race for 2nd place.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a long way from over yet, Bruce, because I can tell you, the Jaguar is coming through. He is catching up, not that fast, but he is catching up on Hobbs. Hobbs, in turn, is holding station about just over half a minute behind Derek Bell. When Derek Bell spun, you may remember, you saw that he only lost 2.1 seconds, which isn't bad to be able to spin and not bang it up or anything else. So it's still a very open race. We've got nearly an hour to go, and to take off 30 seconds in that much time is not impossible.
You know, they take these particular IMSA cars, the GT prototypes, and they, whoops, that's the leader once again spinning. A second time.
Will you be able to pick up any ground on that leading car?
I don't think so, Chris. He's a little bit quicker than we are, and he's actually just pulling away very slightly. But I would like to put it on public record that only Derek Bell could spin here at Miami and not damage the car.
How tough is it, David, keeping up with that youngster that's your co-driver? Do you have a son that old?
I have a son that's older than him. I'm older than his father.
They are on a yellow flag all the way around the course once again. The third yellow flag of the day. The problem, you saw part of it, number 9, Wayne Baker spun the Chevrolet March. That puts the pace car back out onto the track.
They're off. The green flag's out. And I think Derek's pulling away a little bit by the look of it from here.
We're 2 hours and 23 minutes into the 3-hour scheduled Grand Prix of Miami, and at the moment, it is the Porsche that nearly won the 24 Hours of Daytona that has it in hand.
But this sort of time now, under this yellow flag, has closed the cars up for an exciting new start.
I think that's the Andre Hurling Mazda Tiga, and that's mostly steam, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that are worried, that doesn't look as though it's a fire. It's our 4th yellow flag of the race. And by that, I mean a general yellow flag that encompasses the whole racetrack. You got a little shot right in there of Gus Andre just before they loaded him into the ambulance. He was conscious. As we pointed out once again, it's apparently a leg fracture. It didn't look like he was very comfortable there at the moment. The reason we're still under a general yellow flag is that they've still got to get the fences squared back away at that location. Okay, the pace car is off of the racetrack. We're going green once again, and honestly, Sterling, strange story, but I swear, off of the number 14 car, the leader, there was a lot of oil smoke.
I thought there was a lot of smoke myself. I agree with you. It really did look that way. It may have been just dirt because they've been going round rather slowly, and I hope that most of these cars, I hope, remember to keep their tyres warm because they do cool off. But I think they're professionals and they do know.
So we've got a new leader, Darren Brasfield, apparently snookering his way back around the hard-running Porsche, and it's now a Chevrolet March back out in front to be what? Our 5th leader, I think, of the day. And the bright red March is in front, and the number 14 Porsche is backing up in a hurry.
Yeah, he's still within contention. He's still close enough, providing the car hasn't lost its edge. There's no doubt that the ex-leader, that is Derek Bell with the Porsche, could still make it up in the 10 or 15 laps that remain. He's uh-oh, whoops.
There you go.
He's got one of them.
That's probably Chip Robinson in the other Jaguar now, as he's been waiting to get his ride in it, and then it ends up tangling and with a problem. Now you've got a shot of the leader. First time in the lead for this car. It started in the 8th position, and they've been working their way back up. Now they're ready. This one is getting good. If you just joined us, you're here for the climax of it, as we have got approximately 5 minutes left, and that's all. The red car, number 29, is in front of it. Right behind him, the number 14, the blue and white one. And I mean right behind him. Squeeze play, and Bell went by.
That was quite a maneuver, you know, I must say. They both held their a beautiful maneuver there on both their parts.
Sterling, the cars are light, the fuel load's gone away, they probably handle a little weird.
Boy, they're certainly, oh, he's just spun, but he's held it, he's still going and would appear no damage. Well, that's taken the pressure off Derek, but what a great race, what a fantastic race.
He's a quarter mile from the checkered flag. And there it is. Derek Bell wins the 3rd Grand Prix of Miami.
Listen, that was a great drive. It was a little show business there. How'd you let the Chevy get by?
Well, the trouble with this engine, it's inclined to choke up when you run it for so long going slowly.
Yeah.
Really?
And, of course, when I put my foot down, it wouldn't go anywhere.
You know, your countryman David Hobbs said that only Derek Bell could spin a car twice here and not damage it.
I did damage it at the front, but I wasn't going to stop for anybody.